It's no secret that Collier County, in addition to being one of the safest places in America, is also one of the most beautiful. That's why people visit us from all over the world, looking to enjoy our sandy beaches and balmy weather. Now that it's spring break season, Collier County is packed full of vacationers of all ages, plus our seasonal snowbirds and a permanent population that seems to increase by the day. Yes, March is our busiest month of the year. And that means the Collier County Sheriff's Office is working harder than ever to keep our community safe. In this episode, we're taking an all-encompassing look at how CCSO is protecting everyone this spring break. We'll talk to a lieutenant about how deputies handle the influx of people in one of our busiest districts. We'll step into the sand with one of our beach patrol deputies to find out about his job and answer some commonly asked questions about beach rules. And we'll also tell you how to protect yourself in public as we get busier and busier. This is Sworn Statement, a podcast by the Collier County Sheriff's Office under the direction of Sheriff Kevin Rambosk. I'm your host, Adam Fisher. First, let's talk to a North Naples lieutenant about our overall spring break safety plan for the entire county. Here's my conversation with Lieutenant Tom Orr. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sworn Statement podcast. This week, we're talking about spring break. It's that time of year. It's March. The weather's getting nicer. The visitors are coming to town. That means a big influx of people. And how does the Collier County Sheriff's Office handle that? Well, right now, Lieutenant Tom Orr is going to tell us all about it. Lieutenant, how are you doing today?
Good morning, Adam. I'm doing well. It's very happy to be here.
Good. And you are lieutenant of our District 1, which is in North Naples. Obviously, our deputies are out all over the county protecting everyone, but we're talking to you today because you kind of have some unique things about District 1 that kind of apply to spring break. So first off, tell us about District 1, what it looks like, what kind of things you got going on there.
North Naples, the boundaries are pretty much from the Lee County line out to Golden Gate Parkway to the beach out to Livingston Road. So that encompasses a lot of the shopping plazas, such as the Mercado, waterside shops, a lot of the restaurants, and of course the beaches and the hotels.
So all spring break hotspots.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
So this time of year in March, what's it look like for you guys? I mean, I'm sure you really notice, but tell us, I mean, how much busier does it get? The restaurants, the beaches, all that.
It gets very busy. We've noticed an increase over the last couple of years. It seems like Collier County's become, as we know, a destination. And last couple of years on the beach, people have said that everybody wants to come here for spring break, which we're excited to have them. We welcome them here. We just want them to be safe.
That's right. We love people coming to check out how beautiful town this is and how safe we keep it. And that's why you're here to tell us about that. When that influx of people come, and I've seen estimates where, the population almost doubles here in season, and especially in spring break, when it's not only the seasonal snowbirds here for the winter, but those visitors, the families, the college kids. What kind of problems does that present for you guys, for the county?
It brings a lot of things you don't think about. I mean, if more people, it means more cars on the road, more bicycles, more electronic bikes. I mean, people now, their Airbnbs are just as popular as the hotels. So people are packing into Airbnbs. So it creates a lot of people just in the county. So anything from grocery stores, you see more lines, to plazas, there's more parking, more vehicles. On the roads, there's more vehicles. In restaurants, there's longer waits. So pretty much everything increases from that.
And how much does that increase what we call a call for service? Anytime a deputy is called out to a traffic accident, an incident report, something, how many more calls are we getting? We're
getting a significant amount of calls, especially, and we get more calls that we don't normally see typically, which is on the beach and stuff like that, so we actually have deputies on the beach. We have 2 deputies 7 days a week during this period to answer some of those calls, because it's difficult for a normal deputy that's in a patrol car to traverse. So we have people on ATVs and side-by-sides being able to respond to those calls.
So we know the beach gets a lot busier, and we'll have guys out there protecting people. Does that continue? Are we getting more calls like late at night from, the shopping centers, the bars, the restaurants? And does that influx of calls continue throughout the day?
Absolutely. People are here to party, so they'll go over to our entertainment districts and they'll be hitting the bars up, the restaurants. So we get calls for service over there. And they go from noise complaints at some of the Airbnbs to disturbances at the bars. So deputies we do see an increase in calls for service, and they're responding to a lot. And with traffic out there and with more cars, it takes us a little bit longer to get there and whatnot. So we do notice that increase as well.
And you mentioned specifically the beaches. I mean, do you think that makes D1, District 1 get a little busier? I mean, people are visiting Collier County all over, even down to Everglades City, out in the Everglades. But do you feel like a lot of it's concentrated there because of the beaches? You're seeing a lot of the visitors pushed out towards the western edge of the county?
Absolutely. I mean, we have a lot of the high-end hotels, a lot of communities that have Airbnbs.
Yeah.
So we see a lot of that. But everybody comes to these entertainment establishments as well as the beach. So no matter where they're staying, that's kind of where they're headed if they're coming out here to party.
And how long have you been in District 1?
Since 2020.
Do you think it's getting busier? Obviously, you came in right as the kind of pandemic was happening and there wasn't as much travel. I mean, the past 4 or 5 years, I hear it's getting even busier every year, it seems like.
It definitely is. I mean, I think that really opened it up because a lot of the areas around like Miami and Fort Lauderdale and stuff had closed their beaches during that time. So I think that was it's kind of like a hidden gem that people found to our location. And from then, it just seems to increase every year.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, hidden gem. The word has kind of gotten out about how great Collier County is and how safe it is, which is what we handle here. So take us through the what we're calling, I guess, the spring break safety plan. Just tell us about all the assets you'll have, all the things that our guys in CCSO are going to be doing to kind of keep everyone safe, visitors and residents alike.
Well, the best thing about the sheriff's office, everybody works so well together. Mm-hmm. So we have our youth relations deputies that are helping on the beach during the Collier County spring break. So that's the first entity that'll be out there. We have patrol deputies that are helping out at spring break on the beaches. They'll also be working over in communities such as that have frequent Airbnbs. So they'll be extra patrolling at night, extra patrolling the entertainment districts. We have our STEB unit, our traffic. They're going to be out there patrolling the roadways, looking for people that are possibly intoxicated driving and traffic infractions, making sure everybody's safe out there. We have our marine unit as well. It's going to be out in the waterways, making sure people are being safe out there. We're working with ABT. They're going to be doing alcohol checks.
And you mentioned ABT. Tell me about them. What do they do?
They are the Alcohol, Beverage, Tobacco State Law Enforcement Division that basically they'll go to retail establishments and ensure that they're not selling alcohol to underage children, or go to the bars and also make sure that nobody is selling to underage kids.
Okay. What I thought was interesting too is you just talked about the influx of deputies we're going to have out, but you mentioned the YRDs, the guys that are usually in our school. Obviously, they're not in schools because spring break is going on in Collier County, so they're going to help out. Everybody's kind of helping out when they can.
Absolutely. I mean, I left out drones is going to be, our drone unit will be out there, and aviation as well. So it's a large conglomerate of deputies and partnerships to make Collier County safe. We're also going to be deploying message boards, just reminding citizens that are visiting and citizens that live here that it's still important to lock their cars and keep their valuables out of plain sight. With the influx of people, there's a lot more people visiting our parks and whatnot, so that's something we definitely want to consider as well.
You mentioned Marine. Tell us a little bit about that. I know that's not your area, but so these are our deputies that are on our boats, just patrolling all the waterways, making sure everyone's safe, everything's doing what's right.
Absolutely. We have a lot of boating visitors, and we have beautiful Key Wade Island in our county, so people are visiting there, especially on the weekends and stuff, so they're a huge help to us in that aspect.
And they're not just going up in the Gulf side, they're going down in the the Naples Bay and Key Wade you mentioned. Excellent.
Everywhere.
How about aviation? How do they help you guys kind of patrol and keep people safe?
They're great. I mean, they're a huge partner with us. I mean, just their presence out there alone, flying over the beach, I mean, it lets people know that we're out there in force. So I think they're a great partner.
You mentioned the roads. Can you talk a little bit more about that? You mentioned STEB. That's our Safety and Traffic Enforcement Bureau. They're the traffic deputies that are out there. What are they going to be doing for the next couple of weeks to help kind of keep the roads safe?
Well, they're definitely going to be out there making sure people are driving safe. I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of traffic with visitors, so we want to make sure people are all obeying traffic laws. So they'll be out there enforcing that. And also at night, as people are leaving the nighttime establishments, making sure everybody's safe and that nobody's drinking and driving. And
they always want to stress, you mentioned an influx of people, influx of traffic. Everyone needs to stay patient out there.
Yeah.
If you live here, it's going to take you a little bit longer to get to work, to pick up your kids. So just have some patience out there.
Absolutely.
You don't got to mention details because we're going to talk to one of your beach patrol deputies coming up. But just mention about what you guys are doing on the beach there in District 1. Because as we said, that's most of our beaches are going to be there in District 1 in Collier County, your territory. What do you have planned for the next few weeks as far as patrolling the beaches?
We're going to have deputies on ATVs and side-by-sides just kind of roving that area, roving the parking areas, just making sure everybody's safe. So they'll be out there if they're for any 911 calls, any medical episodes, anything like that, they'll be out there, and they partner with fire as well.
Excellent. So anything else you want to tell us or add in there just about spring break here in Collier County?
No, again, I just want to take the time just to welcome everybody, and we just want everybody to be safe out there. So we're out there just to make sure you guys are safe.
Next, let's head to the beach to hang out with Corporal Robert Reed as he patrols the sand on a busy weekday morning. We're out here in North Naples on the beach, Vanderbilt Beach, and when we talk spring break in Collier County, this is one of the biggest hotspots, one of the busiest beaches in all of Collier County. I'm with one of our District 1 deputies, Corporal Robert Reed. Corporal, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Adam?
Doing very, very well. So you're one of the members of District 1, and as we talked about, it's very busy. It's where the beaches are, where a lot of the dining, the hotels are. First off, tell me what we're doing out here on the beach and what you do on a day-to-day out here.
Starting in the beginning of March, we started our spring break initiative. We're just out here doing extra patrols and making sure everybody's obeying all the laws and the rules and having a good time.
And as we record this, it's early March, so we're at that beginning of the spring break season. It's going to get much busier. But what have you seen so far? Not only here at the beach, but out on the streets, out at the shopping and dining, hotels. What's it been like so far this year?
The month of March is one of our busiest months of the year. We have season here in Naples, so January, February, March is super busy for us. We're seeing an influx of people visiting the beaches, visiting the county as a whole and all the shopping centers, and just out here having a good time.
And this beach is already getting pretty busy?
Yeah, very busy. This week and last week started some of the spring breaks of the local colleges, and next week we start spring break for Collier County.
Right.
Yeah, we patrol up and down the beach. We have several miles of coastline here in our district. We have ATVs, we have side-by-side, we have deputies on foot patrol, patrolling the nearby areas of Vanderbilt Beach Road and also Naples Park and along Gulf Shore Boulevard.
And that's just to be out here, have a presence to make sure not only people are safe, but if somebody has a problem, they can come and approach you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually encourage people to flag us down if they see us, say hello, ask any questions. We're open about that stuff.
And it's 7 days a week. Like I said, you guys are from basically till when it opens and closes. You got deputies out here?
Several deputies out here roving around 7 days a week that began March 1st.
Let's get into some of the biggest questions people have here. First off, tell me about when is the county park open?
Yeah, Vanderbilt Beach County Park is open from dawn till dusk. So pretty much, Adam, from when the sun rises to the sun sets.
7 days a week, right?
7 days a week, yes, sir.
And then parking. I know parking is a major issue throughout Collier County as we get more people and more visitors. If people are going to the beach, what do they need to be mindful of when they're parking?
Well, like the Collier County Parks website says, come early if you want a parking spot, especially in high season. There is a parking garage located here at Vanderbilt Beach. It does fill up fast during these busy times.
What's the alcohol policy? I know that's probably the biggest question we got here on the beach, the alcohol policy.
Yeah, that's a good question, Adam. There is no alcohol allowed at any public beach in Collier County. We ask that people respect that. We want them to come here and have a good time, but keep in mind we do have rules in effect.
What about glass? Even if it's non-alcoholic, if I have a soda pop in a glass bottle, is that allowed?
It's not, Adam. There's no glass allowed on any of the public beaches.
That's a safety thing, right? We don't want glass breaking, cutting people.
That's correct. We have a lot of visitors, a lot of families here visiting. We don't want somebody to step on a piece of glass and have to have a EMS respond out here for that.
Let's get back into the dunes. We're kind of, you can see behind us, there are protected grasses and lands behind us. Tell me about them, what they are, and what people need to know about the dunes.
Excellent question. Behind us is the dunes. It's like a protective barrier for our coastline going back into the private property areas. There is a state statute keeping those protected, keeping people out of them. And we just ask that you be respectful of that because we've had a lot of storms in the last several years hit us, unfortunately, and we want that vegetation to regrow and come back and.
And then some things that maybe are not legal rules, but kind of respectful rules. I mean, what should people know about their trash, their music, kind of keeping everything contained to themselves?
Yeah, you are allowed to bring speakers here, and we see all types of speakers, depending on where you're from and what kind of music you listen to. We don't mind that at all. We just ask that you be respectful of the people around you, especially if you're playing music too loud. And maybe if someone asks you to turn it down, just be respectful, maybe turn it down a little, or maybe move further away from that person so you're not disturbing their peace.
Excellent. Yeah, I think respectful is a great word. Just kind of know there's a lot of people out here from a lot of different areas. Kind of try to keep it down, keep to yourself. Tell me about just beach patrol. What do you like about being out here and talking to people and helping them out?
Man, I love it. I've been up in North Naples for 7 years now. I've been doing community policing for about 4 or 5 years, working on and off the beach during different busy peak season. For the most part, everyone loves seeing us out here. Yeah. We get high fives. We get some of the older people. They salute us as we drive by, and nice. It's just a good time.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's good to hear. Anything else that we need to know about the beach this spring break?
No, we just asked if you're here visiting, like we talked about the word respectful, just respect everybody, respect the visitors, respect the locals. Some people live here, some people are visiting, but we want everyone from anywhere to visit here and have a good time.
And finally, we wanted to leave you with some tips on how to stay safe out in public when there's a lot more cars and a lot more people. Here's crime prevention specialist Robert Lewis. As we've been saying, spring break, tons more people in town. That means more traffic, more people out shopping. We want to make sure everyone is staying safe, not just at the beach, on the road, but also out shopping and just throughout the county. For that, we're talking with crime prevention specialist Robert Lewis. Deputy Lewis, how are you?
Good, man. Thanks for having me here.
Excellent. Before we get started, first off, just tell me what your role is here at the Sheriff's Office. What exactly does crime prevention do?
Crime prevention, it's all about public education, right? We want to prevent crime. That way we don't have to react to it and we don't have any victims of crime. That is the goal. So with more education and the more outreach we can do, the more tips and tricks we can give people to make sure they're not a victim of a crime.
And that's perfect why we're talking to you today, because with more people in town, more opportunities for people to become victims, more people that could unfortunately take advantage of some of our residents. So you're going to give us some tips what people should be looking out for when we're here on spring break, when they're out and about throughout our county. What's the main thing you want them to focus on?
Well, as you can see, we're standing here in a big parking lot, right? There's shopping centers everywhere. People are going shopping. They're going to get a sandwich. We want you to use common sense and lock your vehicles.
Yes.
And if you have valuables like a phone, a tablet, your purse, wallet, we don't want you just leaving those in plain view on the dashboard or in the front seat, okay? We want you to either hide those, secure them in your trunk, or take them with you. And then when you're in the store and your vehicle is locked outside, just be aware of your surroundings. We don't want you just leaving your pocketbook in the shopping cart and walking down the aisle to get something and then come back and return to it. At the beach, we don't want you just leaving your valuables up on the towel, your boombox speaker, your tablet, your iPhone, your purse, and then getting in the water and floating down about a mile before you get out again. You're right. We want to make sure that you're staying close to your valuables, you're keeping an eye on them, and just being aware of your surroundings overall. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned those, but it goes to those keys we always talk about. Hide, lock, take. Hide your valuables in your car. Lock your vehicle. Take the keys with you. Never leave your keys in your car. That's a big problem we see, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hide, lock, take's a great acronym. We like to say that a lot. I think more importantly, too, when it comes to crime, we have to have three elements to come together. It's desire, ability, and opportunity. We can't control someone's desire.
Right.
We can't control their ability. They might have the right tools or the right know-how. We can only control that opportunity or eliminate it entirely, and that's the goal. If we can eliminate the opportunity, those criminals are going to move on and eventually get caught wherever they're going to try to do that crime next.
Excellent. I've never heard it put like that. That's really good. I like that. Avoid the opportunity, hide your valuables, lock your car, be aware of your surroundings. I know you're not a traffic deputy, but we've been talking about the increase in traffic when it comes to spring break time around here. What do people need to be aware of on the roads?
You got to be aware of these bad drivers. There's people that they got to get there right now, and they don't care if they have to cross over 4 lanes to make their left turn because, heaven forbid, they should make a U-turn down the road, right? Yeah. So be aware of the aggressive drivers, the people that are driving careless or even reckless, which is criminal. Don't be baited into road rage. If you have someone making some, not so nice hand gestures at you, don't feed into that. If it's a concern where it's a possible impaired driver or someone that's just driving so poorly and recklessly, you need to call the sheriff's office. That way our traffic units, our road deputies that are on patrol can immediately get there and they can stop that individual and find out what their issue is and just solve the problem firsthand. And we don't want you just being a victim of road rage or having anything encounters. If you have someone that's intentionally following you, tailgating you, the best thing to do is pull off, pull away, don't continue, and call the sheriff's office.
And also we're talking about just being aware. Be aware that these roads are going to be busy. Plan for more time. Try and have a little extra patience. I know that's easier said than done.
Sure. I mean, you can see over the past 5-10 years how much Naples has grown, right? So we're doing our best to bolster the infrastructure, widen roadways, but it takes time. And we have a lot of people coming here to visit, seasonal residents, and this is peak season for us right now. So that's the biggest thing is just patience. Awareness and patience behind the wheel. Something concerning, call the sheriff's office.
Thanks again to my guests, Lieutenant Orr, Corporal Reed, and Deputy Lewis. This has been Sworn Statement, a podcast by the Collier County Sheriff's Office under the direction of Sheriff Kevin Rambosk. This episode was edited, produced, and hosted by Adam Fisher, that's me, with audio recording by Brian Barcelo. Thank you for listening.